Welcome back, everyone. Okay, we're going to start the assembly by getting these arms on to the warp engines. Alright, so we got this side here. Got enough room there for the wiring to get down. Clamps here ready to go. Okay. Alright, there we go. Just gotta let those set, and I'm gonna finish them off, but you can see in this in here, I guess when the engine broke off, a huge chunk of plastic got broken off with it there in the join line. I'll have to fill that in after it's dried, and it'll look pretty good after it's done. I'm going to put these impulse engine caps on now. You can see I painted the blue on the back there. It goes along with the blue LEDs there. Okay, so let's get this in place. Looks a bit rough along there on both sides. I'm going to smoothen that off, grind that off. You know what? These little ridges here, I gotta grind those down. Do a quick light test. Not bad. Looks good. Very nice. Okay, you can see more clearly now this gap that's here. So I got to fill this in. So I'm gonna use putty, fill in the big spot there, and then I'm gonna use my Gorilla Glue just so it gets a nice good adhesion between the two parts here. So for right now, I'm going to fill in the majority of this with my putty. You can see I already did putty filling in there along the tops up here, getting that all cleaned up. Okay, got that all filled in, and I got the Gorilla Glue on there. Gotta let that set for a few hours. Got that all done up as well. Let that all dry and set. And those engines are pretty much after that ready for installation. And there we go. I got the models all painted up here. I just finished doing the paint job. Looks good. Not too bad. Still gotta paint the vents in the back here, but other than that, geez, looks good. Not too bad. That's about as good as I can make it. Let's do a quick light test on the warp engines. I got them both tied in together here. Ooh, yeah, baby. Look at that, eh? Okay, we are a step closer to getting the circuit completed. So using an Arduino, we programmed the chip here for the warp engines, for the facade collectors, on them flashing and twinkling or whatever. So let's do a quick test here on the board. Okay, so we got this regulator here that provides 5-volt power to the system here. There we go. Now just imagine these in a circle, flashing and twinkling away, and so that looks good. All right. Now I got to convert this onto a chipboard like this. Okay, so we got everything there, and 5-volt regulator to reduce the input. Otherwise, anything more than that will fry the chip, and that would be not good. Alright, just solder these, get those in place. Okay, circuit board there, got a 5-volt regulator there. Since the system's on a 12-volt power supply, 1 amp, power comes in, reduces, goes into the circuits. And these ones here are all for the LEDs, all the 1 to 6. The one in the center, the main one, it's on all the time. I'm just going to plug that into the main lighting. Yeah, okay. And this here is the code my friend put in to make the lights just blink randomly. All right, so I got the engines here tied in together. I'm just going to tie them into the wiring here. Okay. And just keep going like that. 5 more times. Now the engines will be tied into that. And there we go. It's good. And then we got the main yellow ones here are the center light that does not blink. And we got the ground here. Excuse the big mess of wires. Okay, so I got the navigational lighting plugged in there. Let's just do a quick light test, make sure they're actually going to work here. Good. Okay, so I got this unit tied in here, which includes the ground wire for the lights inside there. Is everything there? Okay, let's do a quick light test. Wow. Very nice. Okay, warp engines, everything's all connected now. Did another light test, everything's looking good. Now the center bulb in here that doesn't turn off, I got it tied in here with the main lights. Just do another quick light test here. Looks good. Perfect. Okay. 5-volt regulator didn't even heat up all that much. Hardly at all. Nice. So you don't have to worry about the heat. Okay, so let's see here. That's all tied in. I think we're just about ready to put the top half of the hull back on here. But because of all this missing plastic on the engines here, it's going to cause a bit of an issue, I think. I'll have to figure something out. All right, to add a little more stability here, I use my Gorilla Glue in these joints in here to make sure they're going to stay closed and to add a little more strength to the plastic that's left over. So I'll be using Gorilla Glue to get the engines attached to the back ends here. But it's going to have to wait until after I get the top of the primary hull all connected, ready to go for reattachment. Okay, got the engines on there. Looking good. Once this first set of glue sets in place for the engines, I'm going to add some more on the inside here. I think I'll add another plastic strip that goes across. That'll give it just a little bit more stability. Overall, it looks like it's going to hold just fine. Good. All right. Just gonna let that set overnight. There we go. Yeah, it's not formed just right. When I get the top on there, the engine should straighten out a little bit better. And you got all the wiring in here, got it all glued down, so everything's out of the way of the windows. Okay, so I got these 3 sections here to hook up to the primary hull yet, and then I can get the primary hull down in place and ready for reconnection. Alright, so I got everything all tied in here now. That's all done. Do a quick light test before I close it up. Uh-oh. There's a wire touching somewhere that shouldn't be touching. Okay, I disconnected the main lighting wire here from this. So everything in here is working fine. The problem is up in this part of the ship. There's a bare wire touching something that's not supposed to be touching somewhere. And on top of that, there's a loose connection. Alright, so I rectified the issue. The circuit board here for the flashers was interfering with the main lighting. It all comes down to amperage. It was drawing too much juice. Okay, so before, when you noticed all the lights were blinking and not on, all you have to do is add a 5-volt regulator between the flasher and the main circuit line, because the flasher was taking too much current from the rest of the ship, which is why it was blinking along with the flasher. So I got the 470 microfarad capacitor with a 5-volt regulator, and everything works fine. Just like that. Nice. Okay. Now, another thing I'm going to do to ensure that all these other lights around the ship are going to work and not burn out over time. So I'm going to take this other 5-volt regulator and I'm going to connect it to all the rest of the lighting, because this lighting is separate, basically separate from all the others. This has to have a 12-volt power supply in order to make it work. It won't work otherwise. So everything else that's connected to it has got to come off of it and have it on their own lines with this other 5-volt regulator, because over time the amperage is just too great for these bulbs, LEDs, and they will eventually burn out. And this will ensure that they don't burn out. So you can have this ship on for a couple hours, whatever, and none of them will burn out. You'll know when they start burning out when they start flickering, and eventually they just stop working, because the amperage is just too high for them over time. This will stop that. So everything that's not this line that's connected to it has got to come off of it and use this. I will connect this to the main line in, and everything else will be connected to it, and that will solve any issues of in the future of these lights burning out. Okay, so I got all these extraneous other lights taken off of this. Got them going through this 5-volt regulator, which has reduced the voltage and the amperage down, making it a whole lot easier for these LEDs to handle, which means they can be on for a whole lot longer. The main lines here for this lighting, they're still 12-volt, because that's what they were designed for. See, looks really good. Looks like it's going to hold up quite nicely. I was just going to let this run for a while, see what happens, but I suspect it's going to be just perfect. The LEDs are a little bit dimmer than what they were before, which is what you want, because if they were like at 70-80% brightness, their lifespan would be greatly reduced. So I'd say this is about 60% of their brightness, which is really good, and it works beautifully. You can see here, and it's still perfect. It's just the way it's supposed to be. You know, that's exactly the way it's supposed to be, which is really incredible. I am very much liking this. Didn't really have to worry too much about the warp engines because it's just 12 volt power lighting there. These here are already on a regulator. The flashers are on a regulator, so everything is fine with those. Looks really good. I'm very happy with this. This is very nice. And this is the importance of having 5 volt regulators. They add life to your model for the lighting. They're warm, but that's to be expected. I just got to hook up the torpedoes here now, and it's ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to get a heat shrink or resistor on, or something on there so it doesn't damage the plastic. But other than that, this thing is one step closer now to being all put together. Okay, see, this thing's pretty much ready now to be put together. So let's get these halves together. And there we go, looking really nice. Okay, one more quick light test. Very, very nice. Oh yeah. What? I know, disappointing. I had to pop it over because you know what? This line here coming from the warp engine, I put it here on this where it ties into that. It's supposed to stay on here. That's why you do light tests. So I got to take this line off of here, reattach it to the 12 volt line here, and the engine will work again. There we go. So I just reattached it down here to the main line coming in. Yeah. Alright, one more time. There we go. Very good. Alrighty, lefty then. Well, everyone, that is it for this episode. The next one, we are going to finish off putting on the rest of the parts and start on the Aztec decals and get all the decaling back on. Please like, subscribe, comment, don't forget to share, and click that notification bell for any future uploads. If you have any questions or you want me to do commission work for you, contact me at epyc.models@gmail.com. See you all again later. Bye-bye.